Now, a special holiday presentation of The Locker Room.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome inside a special edition of The Locker Room. My name's Justin Prince, and now I know it's not Friday, but we wanted to kind of wrap up the year in a very special way for you. During my first 3 years, we always provided a best of moments in athletics from the year that was. Well, last year that changed a little because we missed a good half of the year with no sports. However, with things back in full swing for all of 2021, I'm proud to say over the next 2 nights, I'll present you the Locker Room's top 10 moments from the past year. Let's get started, shall we? While we are only listing off 10, there were plenty of other moments worthy, but just didn't quite make the cut. Some of those included Katie Crow winning the Horizon League Volleyball Player of the Year in Purdue Fort Wayne's first season in the league. And speaking of college, how could we forget our friends at St. Francis? The Cougs making a marvelous run to the NAIA's Final Four last year, knocking off 5 top 25 teams in the country over the season's final month before falling in the national semifinals, finishing the year 27-9. And of course, how could we forget our minor league sports friends? After canceled seasons in 2020, both the Tin Caps and Mad Ants played their first home games in nearly 2 years in 2021. The Mad Ants currently enjoying a nice start here to this season. As for the Tin Caps, well, we saw the best prospect since Fernando Tatis come to town in the form of Robert Hassel III. He burst onto the scene, blasting 4 homers in 18 games, 3 of which came in 1 game alone. All right, it's now time to move on to our top 10. In at number 10, the Belmont volleyball team, the Braves, making a miracle run to the Class 3A state finals, knocking off the number 15, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4 teams en route to Worthen Arena. Craig Kroll's squad nearly did the impossible, taking top-ranked Buff to 5 sets after falling behind 2-0 in the state finals. Ultimately, Belmont would lose 3-2, finishing Class 3A state runner-ups for the second time in the last 3 seasons. The Braves finished 2021 30-6 overall. In at number 9, the Adams Central Flying Jets football team. It was a special season down in Monroe. All year they talked about leaving a legacy, and boy did they. After a 9-1 regular season, which included an ACAC title, Michael Mosier's squad rolled through the playoffs, outscoring opponents 213-25 on their way to a trip to Lucas Oil Stadium in the Class 1A state finals. It was AC's first trip to state in 21 years, and you wouldn't have known they were the new kids on the block. Despite racing out to a 21-7 lead, the Jets ultimately did lose to top-ranked Indianapolis Lutheran 34-28 in a heartbreaking thriller. AC finished as Class 1A state runner-ups with a 13-2 record and sectional, regional, and semi-state titles to its name. We move to the diamond for number 8. It was a season of firsts for our friends in Butler. Eastside Baseball putting together a special run through the postseason that included both the program's first ever regional and semi-state titles. The Blazers, unfortunately, couldn't quite finish the job at state as they were shut out in the state finals by Providence 4-0. Still, a magical season for Aaron Willard's squad. Eastside finished the year 26-7, state runner-ups in their first ever appearance at Victory Field. Speaking of magical seasons, our number 7 team had a pretty magical one themselves, and it all started in the playoffs for Leo boys basketball. After an 18-4 regular season, that saw them lose 3 of their final 4 games, the Purple Pride ripped off 6 straight wins, winning their first regional and semi-state titles, which included that miraculous comeback from 16 points down over South Bend St. Joe in semi-state on their way to the Class 3A state title game. The Lions nearly pulled off the impossible in their first ever trip to then Bankers Life Fieldhouse, rallying from 10 points down in the 4th quarter to lose by just a point to Silver Creek in the 3A title game. The Lions finished the year 24-5 and Class 3A state runner-ups. In at number 6, we make our way to the pitch with Westview boys soccer. The Warriors were, plain and simple, the Cinderella of the IHSAA soccer tourney this fall. Westview claimed their first ever semi-state title, knocking off heavy favorite Park Tudor. And then in their first trip to state, the Warriors rallied from down a goal with under 2 minutes remaining in regulation before adding 2 in overtime. knocking off defending state champ Providence 4-2 for their first ever boys soccer state title. The win capped off a 17-5 campaign for the Warriors. All right, so that's going to do it for the first half of the Locker Room's top 10 moments of 2021. You saw 10 through 6 tonight. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, though. Tomorrow night, I will reveal moments 5 through 1 in the Locker Room's top 10 moments of 2021. So for now, I say good night, and I'll check in with you all tomorrow.